What's up, guys? What's up, guys? It's Jules. It's time for another weekly update of cross-stitch fun. Cross-stitch. I'm wearing my blues. Well, if you can tell, blues jersey. Game 4 tonight. I'm not allowed to scream or yell because I'm still sick. Thought I was getting better. I was getting better. And then I talked too much today. And by the time I got home, I got a nice new sore throat. And I'm coughing. And I got a weak voice. So I got a cough drop in my mouth. Apologize for that. If it bothers you, I gotta tell you, my sore throat bothers me more. And so, anyway, how you doing? How's everything going, guys? Another busy week here. Another busy as a bee week. We're gonna talk about some crazy Avenger madness that happened last week with my husband and I. If you don't follow any of the other videos, excuse me, if you don't follow any of the other videos or read the blog, it'll be news to you. So if not, it's all good. But we're going to talk about our little adventure doing that. And then a little bit more about the bees. We got a little bit more bee news. And I went to Michael's today because I need a lot of floss. A couple weeks ago, you guys know that Bailey kind of decimated my floss stash. She has steadily dwindled it down, and because I'm just not organizing it as well as I should, I need to get in there and organize it. And so I was trying to stitch this week, and I'm like, let me pull out this project, and like Old World Map 2. Nothing got done on Old World Map 2 this week because I was like, well, I need this color and this color. I'm like, yeah, they're gone now. And so I'm sad, Jules. So I'm like, I gotta go. I can't just order them and wait for them to come for 5 days. I decided to go over today. I've been trying not to go to the craft stores because I always end up buying more than I need. But it's all good. Floss. But let's take a look at what I did get done this past week. I'm trying not to start coughing again. Let's look first at the Reaper, which was our featured piece of the week. And this was one of the reasons why I need to get floss, because I have two colors that I really need to finish this page, and I couldn't find them, so I had to go get them. So this is where we ended up after 2 weeks of the featured Reaper, just almost finishing this page. So we should be able to finish it this week and then finally move on to the second row. Yay! But that's where we're at. It's looking good. Looking good. It always helps when you have the right color floss, doesn't it? That's what I always think. I did some more work on the Ronnie Rowe, U.S. Capitol. And so what I did, and that's where all the floss is coming from. I dropped a lot of 310 on this project, literally and figuratively. So I pretty much just kind of worked down this way. Oh, my throat. I finished in this thing, and then this thing, and then this thing, and then I just got more done over here. So I'm just literally kind of coming down all the way here. I'd really like to come straight down all the way to the next page, but it's definitely, I mean, you can see more is coming in, but it's a work in progress. That's why it's called a whip. Brain's not functioning that well either. Anyway, so there is that. And let's go to Apothecary Shop, because I did get some work on it. I left it in the hoop because I wanted to kind of get right back to work on it. And I needed some floss. Again, I needed a certain color. But that's kind of what I did. And all I really did was just come over here and do a bit more over here and do a bit more down there. So I just filled it in a bit more. But let's look at it as a whole, shall we? As a whole lot of cross stitch. So there's that. I was going to show you baseball. Baseball is one of those I put it back in the hoop last night, and I was getting all ready to stitch, and then I decided I was too tired and I wanted to play video games, and that's what I did. And so I just needed mind numbing. And cross stitch isn't mind numbing. Cross stitch is mind focusing in a way. Like, you can't really, I mean, I can like empty my mind when I'm cross stitching, but I always end up thinking. That's why I always need to like listen to a book or watch something while I'm doing it, versus video games where I can just kind of and just play for like hours. The the Bears in honor of the draft. I worked on the Bears. So here we have more work. And pretty much what I did was I just took the orange all the way across. I filled in like this square and that square, and then I came down here and filled in a little bit more. So it's just a little bit more complete going all the way across. Don't know if that's how I'll continue it this week, if I'll bring it all the way across so we can truly see like both sides what needs to be done. I probably should. It's kind of fun to do it that way, but well, I guess it is all one page, isn't it? Or is it 2 pages? It's a really small pattern compared to most of my stuff. But anyway, so that's what I've done. Bears had an okay draft. The draft was fun. Honestly, the draft was fun, but I mean, I listened to it more than I watched it. And anyway, that's the story of the Avengers. So we'll get to that in a minute. And then we have Rainy Waterloo Place. So I got some stuff down here. So again, this is actually something that I needed more colors for. I just kept running into color deficiency, floss deficiency. Can you see it all the way? There we go. And that was really the theme of the week, was like I kept grabbing a project and I'm like, oh, I need more floss for that. Oh, I need more floss for that. And then I didn't go out and get it until today. So let's discuss what I got. Because sadly, guys, that's all I've worked on this week. That is all I worked on. It's okay. There we go. That's how you empty a bag. I got more of these little bitty hoops. So I get these at Michael's. I like these a lot. Loops and Threads. They may be on Amazon too. If they are, I'll link to it below. I'm not sure if that's the brand that I do link to below, but I really, really like them a lot. They hold the fabric really well. Look at that. It's as big as my head. Here, Mercury, let me toss it on your head. No, actually, you get really mad at me and pee on my head in the middle of the night. I'm not going to do that. I bought some more number things because they're like half off. Granted, it was like only like $1.12 or something for the number things. I always need number things. I actually bought more, a little set of bobbins because I know I have like a bag of them somewhere, but I can't find it, of course. So I'm like, I actually took these back to work at lunch. I stopped over at lunch, then I came back and actually went ahead and bobbinated everything, or not everything, but most of my colors, because that's my problem, is I'll come home and then I won't bobbinate, and then I take from this and I'll just pull out a thing and then put it, and it's not a good way to do it. It's just not, and it's messy. But that's how I've been doing it lately. I've been just kind of, once I get over this sickness, I will not have any more excuses as to why I don't have certain things done. Anyway. Hi. Dogs. Let me shut the door. Or get close to the door. If you need to go out, Mercury, just let me know, okay? Okay, so that's where we are with the cross stitching. I was looking for this piece. Thought it was downstairs, and as well as it as well. I was looking for it downstairs, forgot that I actually had left it up here. So we gotta stitch, dudes. We gotta stitch. So what happened this week? This week really went off the rails as soon as I published the video. I had all these good intentions. I had the weekend off. I had all these good intentions, and it just kind of got thrown out the window a little bit. It's so when I last left you, here, I'm not sure who's in my mouth. So when I last left you, we were talking about we were going to go to Avengers on Sunday morning, and Thursday I spent the whole morning stitching. Don't ask me what I stitched on, because it didn't look like I might have missed talking about something. Did I stitch on anything else besides what I talked about? No. So, I think it was Rainy Waterloo Place. I'm not sure, but I was stitching. And then I was working on some other stuff, and I was going to come back to stitching, and hubby comes home from work late afternoon, and he's like an hour later, he's like, yeah, I bought a ticket for Avengers for the 3 a.m. showing tonight. I was like, what? You did what? And he's like, yeah, they're showing it at 3 a.m. at the theater we go to, so I went ahead and bought a ticket because I can't wait. I can't wait to go. I know people are going to spoil it for me. I have to find out what happens like now. So I'll just get up early and I'll go watch the movie, and I'll get out like at 6:30, and then I'll just go into work because he goes into work that early. and said, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And I was like, huh. And he said, well, you want to go? I'm like, no. It's crazy. I like my sleep. But then I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. And I'm like, I don't want him to go by himself. This would be an adventure with the two of us, and I really want to find out what happens too. So finally I was like, all right, buy me a ticket too. I'll go. So what we did was we went to bed at like 7:30 that night, and we got up at about 2 in the morning. And because I actually did go to sleep probably like by 8:30, which was amazing. And got up at 2. The movie was at 3. So we got to the movie theater. There's like about 70 other people that were there in the movie theater with us. So it's a really nice movie theater. It's got really great screens. And so we watched the movie, and that was pretty much it. The should I tell you guys about this? Yeah, I'll just be more brief about it than I normally am. But I gotta say, like, the movie's 3 hours long, and you probably know by now, you've had your thing. I don't get up during a movie and go to the bathroom. I just don't. Usually, especially with, like, Avengers, like, there's never a good time to get up and go to the movie or go to the bathroom. Like, there's always something going on, and I don't want to miss a single thing. And I never really reached a point where I was like, oh, I gotta go now. Oh, I gotta go now. I never really reached that point. I think I was so immersed in what was going on screen that I didn't notice what was going on down below. And so by the time the movie ended and the credits started up and I was like, oh, I better go to the bathroom, like I literally couldn't stand up. If I stood up, I was going to lose everything. And it took the entire movie end credits and a couple minutes after that, and the cleaning guys staring at us. Everybody's left. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. And he's like, I know. And I think he thought I meant like the emotion of the movie, but I was like, no, the emotion of me about to rupture bladder. I finally made it to the bathroom. Don't ask me how I got there, but I finally did. And that was easily like, we've all had those like times where we're like, if I don't go, I was beyond that. I was like beyond pain. I was beyond, it was crazy. It was really crazy. So, anyway, so we got done with the movie. It was like 6:30 in the morning. Hubby went on to work. I went home for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I went on into work. And I'm not useless, but I was kind of punchy for the rest of the day. Thankfully, I had Saturday off. But when I came home Friday night, I didn't really want to do anything. Fell asleep at 8 o'clock. I think I went to bed and slept for 12 hours. I didn't get up till 8 o'clock the next morning, and I haven't done that in forever. And because I was already starting to feel, as you guys know, I was already starting to feel a little sick, and then didn't get a lot of sleep. And so then Saturday, I don't even remember what the rest of Saturday was. I'm thinking we went out somewhere. Did we get barbecue somewhere? No, we did that on Sunday. So Sunday, we had to go take care of the bees again. And we had to put in the last bee hive part. So we had, so it's the 7th of the hives that we were installing. And we had, it was basically like a nuke of bees. And the nuke is, I'm going to get this wrong because my husband's the expert with all the terminology and everything, but it's basically like a box. It's like a cardboard box with a fold top, like a thing that folds down on it. And it comes with 5 frames of, like honey and bees and whatnot. And there's a queen in the middle of all that and everything. And we went and we picked it up. And this is the first time we've ever done the bees this way. So we put them in the back of the SUV, and then we had to drive from where we were on Sunday. We got up at 6 or 7, I think it was 6, and went up there, picked up the bees, drove all the way down. It was like about an hour southeast of where we were, and had to drive back into the ranch and go to where all the beehives were. We were about 15 minutes out of where we needed. No, we're 15 minutes out. No, we were about halfway there. We were about halfway to where we were going to dispose of the bees or take the bees to, when I heard a little buzz sound and turned around, and I was like, honey, some of the bees are loose in the back, and they're flying around in the back of the car. And he was like, how many are we talking about? I'm like, like 15 maybe. And it's like, Okay, what had happened, we found out later, was that we had kind of jostled around on the back, and we had never gotten one of these before, so it's one of those things where we should have put something on top of it to close that top a little better, but it had kind of come up just a little bit to let bees kind of escape a little bit at a time. So they started congregating on the back window, on the rear window of the SUV, and I don't even know what anybody who was following us might have thought, because it's a clear window, it's not tinted or anything, so you see that the bees were beginning to mass on the back of the window. And so we just was like, we were just calm, because at that point, basically, the bees were very calm. That, you know, at that point, they're not aggressive in any way, they're not really protecting anything, and they were just, you know, looking around for food and whatnot. And so what we just did was we waited until, like, if a bee kind of crept all the way up to, like, where we were, we'd roll down our windows, bee'd get sucked out, everything's fine for a little bit. 5 minutes later, another bee would come up, we'd roll down the windows, and we just kept doing that. And then we just tried to go a little faster and a little faster just in case the whole thing opened up, and then we would have thousands of bees in the car with us. That would have been really bad. From a standpoint of, there goes our money kind of thing. So, but we got the bees installed in their new hive, and everything looks good. Everything, oh, hi, buddy. Oh, Mercury's come down here next to my leg to sit. I was like, you got your banana? There's like a banana with catnip inside of it. And he's all kind of curled up with it right now. He's a good boy. He never... Oh, because I have the door mostly closed, that's why. Anyway, so we got that all done. And then we hopped back in the car, and we drove almost completely back to where we were, and we saw Avengers again that morning. We got there with about 10 minutes to spare before the movie started, and we watched it again. Still really, really good. And then came home, took another nap, and... pretty much just, you know, the weekend just was, we were just really tired and it wasn't feeling good. So all my wishes of a very stitchy weekend just didn't really happen. So, but the bees are good. So that's honestly right now, that's the most important thing, that they're set up. And we've been having a ton of rain. So actually we had some snow yesterday too. So they'll be set up and they'll be doing good. And we also had a client of mine bring me in some honey that he has his own beehives. He came in with this really cool label on his honey, and I think we're going to actually we're going to come up with some labels and be like a more official business type thing with that this year. So that'll be good. I don't know what's giving us man. Because then we had... Yeah, anyway, I'm like, and my throat thankfully has made it through this entire thing. Is because I'm trying not to talk too loudly, but it is going downhill. So I'm really glad I was able to get this video done. I wanted to get it done at lunchtime, but I couldn't get away from work, so we had to do this here. I can only lift my left, this is my left brow. Trying to do my right brow. It's like I'm trying to have a seizure or something. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Can only do this. Anyway, I don't know what the featured project of the week is. I asked the guys on Saturday if they would help me out with that. I also even threw in the idea of starting something that I haven't started yet. So I was like, what do you guys want to see? So I need to go see the votes and see where we're at with that. And... yeah, otherwise I think we're good. I'm actually just gonna go stitch. The Blues are gonna be on any minute, or maybe tonight sometime. And I'm just gonna watch the game and rest. And tomorrow I'm gonna rest for most of the day. Friday's work, Saturday's work. And I think we're done with we won't need to do anything with the bees for a while, although we need to get some video. But other than that, we're otherwise pretty good. But yeah, the week didn't turn out the way that I thought it would. That's all right. But I'm gonna get back on it now. Got some floss. Yeah. And there's nothing like fresh floss. Fresh floss. And so, yeah, I'm going to go stitch. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Stitch Mania, all you nutties, crazies. A lot of stitching going on. That is awesome. Hey, you who sent me the long list in the mail. I need to put those guys on tomorrow, and I will. Thank you so much for the written list. That's really nice, and the letter was really nice too. I know I gave you a hard time on the Stitch With Me video about the whole Georgia thing, but It's just all in jest. Okay, see? I gotta stop. Anyway, you guys take care, and I'll see you really soon. Hasta la pasta. Let's stitch. Woo, woo. Bye, guys.